Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Alienware Arena EU Finals. We have game number 2 of our matchup of RealZone versus the RoughNex coming up live for you in just a moment. But we are ready to go in the game selection screen. Mr. Bird with me, been with me all day. A fantastic company, if I do say so myself.
Aw, thank you.
Alright, good luck, have fun. RoughNex going to be here on the left, RealZone on the right. And, you know, that was a pretty dominant game from RoughNex. So what does RealZone need to do in order to kind of show that they are not going to go quietly into the night?
I think the biggest difference is the level 1 play. RealZone, I mean, now they're down 1 game. They have kind of nothing to lose from this, really. Like, they should probably come out with a level 1 vengeance and actually come in and invade RoughNex jungle and try to set the tone from there. Because right now, what we saw from RealZone, they were pretty passive during that lane phase, and RoughNex actually was the same kind of passivity as well. I guess that's the word. And RoughNex won in that passive kind of lane. I mean, they were up in CS a lot from both the top, middle, and bottom. So RealZone probably has to play a little bit more aggressive so they can put some pressure onto RoughNex in the second game.
Syndra. Where's Syndra? QRS,
In between Talon and Swain.
Oh yeah, yep. Wow, Talon and Swain, good job. Yeah, she's there off on the left. So I don't think we're gonna see a Syndra. She just was not really worth her salt back in when she was brought into the gaming scene. But first ban once again, Rengar and Shen. Nobody really wants to deal with these guys. It is the Kha'Zix patch. Rengar definitely not hit by that nerf bat quite yet. And yeah, the one game we did see him in, he absolutely dominated. So, you know, not a terribly uncommon ban for that era.
Yeah, I mean, Rengar, they had a really interesting start for that game in the 3rd place matchup. Still did pretty well. I mean, the damage output that Rengar comes out of when out of stealth. This double procs with the Q ability of Savagery, just so much damage coming out from the Rengar, no problem. Evelynn being banned out and Ezreal being banned out. Ezreal, again, sought off a first pick, again, like you said, Kha'Zix patch, so he still has the attack speed debuff, and on top of that, he still has pretty much the uncanny, like, first tier dueling ability against anything, literally, so that's why that's banned out. Evelynn, yeah, I could say that's a good ban, but then again, I don't know. There are some other things that probably RoughNex or RealZone probably. RoughNex could have taken out from RealZone. RealZone had a decent Malphite. I mean, they could have banned that one out maybe, or I don't know. But yeah, interesting to see the Evelynn ban. They're just going to super standard, and Orianna being banned out from RealZone. That was a definite dissonance per se for the team of RealZone.
So 5 out of 6 of the same bans as the previous game this round, also getting rid of that Orianna, but we still have Malphite on the table. In terms of other, Jace is still on the table now, and there he is right there, second pick. Stitchy going to be taking that Jace top lane. He did not have a good time with Malphite last round.
No, definitely not. And now Stitchy gonna have a little bit of advantage with the high poke, high mobility, high damage output of Jace. It's gonna be really good to see him probably use that up. Yeah, Stitchy definitely wants to come back in this game and try to win this one out for himself, just because, yeah, that was not the best showing for him. And unfortunately, I mean, that's just kind of a match of how it went. Malphite takes a little bit of damage from that early go, and Rumble takes a little bit of that snowball. I mean, Rumble early is kind of weak. When he gets that mid-game status, level 6 and on, he's pretty strong. So, I mean, we'll see what Stitchy does. And Stitchy's actually contemplating a Alistar?
Ooh. I mean, Alistar used to be such a huge name, 100% pick or ban, but it looks like, you know, the meta is really kind of evolving past it, but here he is. Could be a top lane Stitchy, could be a jungle Alistar, could be a support Nunu, could be a jungle Nunu, could be a sustained top Nunu. I mean, very ambiguous picks overall. Does not really matter what the order is. Everyone has every champion unlocked, but no Jace. I'm curious to see if RoughNex will take this opportunity to grab it for themselves.
I mean, the usual counters we see for the Jace pick were Aurelia. And Nidalee supposedly was a good counter as well, and York is a kind of soft counter, but doesn't really affect that mid-game to late-game status with Jace still poking in really hard. Mm-hmm. So we had that Nidalee Aurelia pick probably going to be picked up from RealZone if RoughNex does pick up that Jace, but I guess both teams that Jace because we are seeing Maokai and Quirky be shown as the picks for RoughNex right now.
Yeah, Maokai does not surprise me whatsoever. A top tier jungler for this patch. I mean, and once again, you cannot escape him. If you Twisted advances you, he's going to land the Arcane Smash no matter what. Throw up a Vengeful Maelstrom, and all of a sudden you have a perfect arena for your team to fight under. So not a surprise whatsoever. And again, he's a huge pick in the Asian scene as well. I think every single Asian game I've casted has a Skarner and has a Maokai.
Yeah, that was definitely indicative of the times over as on the World Finals, where Skarner and Maokai were picked almost every single time, if not banned. That Maokai pick, actually, for that first game, did a lot of work for a lot of the members of Real Zone. I mean, they got the triple kill from Toy. I think it was Toya who actually did play that Maokai, and yeah,
No, Toya
Maokai
was
could be.
mid. Sorry.
Oh, Toya was mid. Who was is it Barry Nice?
No, he was top. He's Devo.
Devo. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, but Maokai, yeah, did really good carry work. I don't think he's gonna be a carry for this game if he is gonna go in the jungle again. But yeah, he'll be doing some good supportage slash denying of damage for Real Zone, and Real Zone's gonna have to worry about that yet again.
Man, I just realized I forgot to get you that Anivia picture. My bad. But
No problem.
hey, there's Anivia right there. Hulk Bob gonna be picking that up for his team. And now that I see that there's a Vayne bottom already locked in, I am really reminded of like the very beginning of season 2 of Vayne Alistar combination.
Vayne Alistair, that's a little deadly. Pulverized into condemned to a wall. I'm not gonna say it right now. I might say it afterwards once we actually go to the level 1 stuff. But I'm thinking we're gonna see some hijinks from Real Zone maybe. Whereas we do see a Nasus and Zyra pick, very standard standard picks for RoughNex if they actually do lock those in. I mean, Nasus probably one of the best champions in the game of League of Legends.
Wow. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a competitive Nasus, but okay, the top lane, sure, that's fine.
They actually locked it in. Wow.
I'm getting messaged by Sitchy.
Okay.
Oh, it's Sitchy, not Stitchy. Did I say Stitchy?
I think I said Stitchy. Is this Stitchy?
Sitchy. There's no extra T in that. Sitchy.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I don't know. Maybe he's on a 2-minute delay, so it could have been either one of us. Either way, NASA's top. It does look like it's going to be a war of the brethren. The war of the brethren.
Yeah, Renekton could be locked in over that top lane. Renekton known for that early aggression. Okay, so truthfully, Nasus, I think it was said by Skara from Dignitas during the World Finals. He said, yeah, Nasus is probably one of the hardest characters to actually build a team around. And again, Nasus has that early game just kind of farms up and gets into that mid game status where he still needs to farm up into that late game where he's pretty strong with that siphoning strike. Yeah, we'll see what will happen, but I guess this is a EU thing. We're going to see that Nidalee pick actually over that top lane probably, and that poke is going to really hurt onto Nasus where he needs to kind of sustain and also kind of farm up as well. So poke versus trying to farm up creeps, it's not going to be a good time for Nasus up top.
So I suspect it will be a jungle Alistar. We see a lot of trading going on back and forth. It will be a jungle Alistar with a Vayne Nunu lane, and you know Vayne Nunu by itself, you can't really get a lot done. Vayne is more of a mid-range character than Nunu. I mean, he can throw out the ice balls, but he's really just there for the Blood Boil. But once you start getting it those levels into Blood Boil, you get 6 on Vayne, you can start seeing a lot of turnarounds, even if you're down in your lane. Throw on top of that Alistar and you know, this could be a really good game for Vayne, but she has to get past that Corki, and that could be difficult.
I mean, the Corki Sona, that's a lot of bursts coming out from RoughNex, and that's kind of dangerous again for Vayne, who doesn't have the highest hit points of level 1/on. He's pretty light on the health points for a AD carry, so we'll see if they can save out onto the Vayne, and we are about to start up this game.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 of the EU Alienware Finals. €1,000 are on the line. 1,500 is going to be the combined prize pool for both of these entries. If RoughNex can take this in a 2-0 sweep, well, good for them. I mean, that would be a really impressive thing to watch, right? You know, a nice 2-0 sweep. But it's going to be coming down to what Real Zone can do. Can Real Zone claw their way to a 1-1 tie and make this an epic best of 3 series? That's what we're gonna have to find out here.
I'm thinking like, okay, so we have the loading screen up. It's probably going to be a lane swap for RoughNex. Actually, I was expecting it for Realzone to actually do the lane swap, but they took a Nidalee. So Nidalee, I mean, it's going to be good enough to go up to the top and just kind of 1v or 2v or 1v1 against Gnosis. But usually with the Gnosis, you want to have like a little bit of farmage and stuff like that. We'll probably see him go to bottom against the Vayne Nunu. We'll see. I mean, that's what I'm predicting, but again, that matchup doesn't really tend to be a good one for RoughNex per se.
In your blue corner here, ladies and gentlemen, the RNX tag Extreme. It is going to be the RoughNex up 1-0, and their opponents, this top right corner, captained there by Sitchy, not Stitchy, going to be the Real Zone. So lots of boots, lots of pots, the typical support, and we don't seem to have a Neuronet forming here for Real Zone. Could we see an invade?
Yeah, Realzone definitely wants to get some level 1 pressure. I mean, Flash Frost. On top of that, you have the pulverize on Alistair. I mean, it would have been a really great kind of addictive play, but we do have a map bug. Whole map is black.
Whole map is black. Sounds kind of racist, actually, but man, that would suck. Your entire map is just black. Yeah, that map is very, very important. So make sure that we don't have that. This is the second time we've had a pause for the finals. First round was a graphics glitch. Now we have another graphics glitch.
Graphic glitch. I'm thinking it's because EOS and Nordic East, the servers don't really interact together. So with this tournament live setter, like when you try to connect into it, it's not the greatest for probably the Nordic East side. I think the server is actually located, the tournament server at least, is located in Ireland / for the headquarters of Riot is for EU side. So yeah, unfortunately, vehicle esports, that old tasteless speech, internet is one of those things that we have to deal with, and unfortunately, we'll be in this little pause for a little bit.
This chat, man, this chat. Oh man, I don't know what to say to that. So I was playing Vayne Nunu the other day. I was just practicing my Vayne, and we went up against Ezreal Sona, and oh my god, just the long-range poke of that lane. It's going to be very similar to what we're going to see here with the Corki Sona. There's a lot of long-range poke opportunities to land on top of you. Didn't do so well in the beginning, but after like the 10-minute mark, after just some dedicated farming and getting a little bit of help from my jungle, I was actually able to do a 2v2, and we actually came out on top 2-0, and from then on did not have any problems. That's the magic I'm talking about here with the Vayne Nunu. Once you get those blood boils and the cooldowns to a state that Vayne can actually become somewhat, versatile and somewhat mobile in that bot lane, it could really turn things around.
Yeah, I mean, once you get Vayne to that farm status and not actually feeding up onto the opposing AD carry, I mean, Vayne's a really hyper carry, and you can't really stop it once the train starts rolling. And if you can give him a few kills even that early go, like you said, you got 2 kills from that, that's just more putting up for that Vayne. So we'll see if Jizzes can actually get that started for himself.
Man, this better not be the level 1. Okay, great. A little bit of lag there after the pause. Devo just looking at that Nidalee. Now, you were talking a little bit about a lane swap, but I don't know, I still see Sona in that bottom lane with Corki. Is it going to... Who's doing the lane swap? Realzone?
It should be RoughNex, but Realzone could be doing a lane swap as well, trying to push down onto Gnosis. I mean, Gnosis can't really deny it at the turret per se as much as anything. I mean, he's going to take Siphoning Strike, probably his first level, and I mean, he can clear out a lot of creeps with the Spearfire, but it's not going to be that fast to actually do anything. And we do see level 1 trying to be started out for Realzone, but Realzone can't get anything done with that.
Now, it's kind of hard to invade on that angle. There's just so much open water here that this ramp will give you vision into. So, does not really look like anything was going to be going down. It will be the bottom lane versus the bottom lane. No swap's going to be going down at all. But, golems are going to be starting for this Corki Sona. So, they are going to hit level 2 before the Vayne Nunu. Could we see some kind of timing here with the Maokai?
Probably gonna go versus top because he's gonna have to help out that Gnosis, and on top of that, Alistair taking out that red is probably thinking the same thing, or probably going for that unique / classic go through race and go and attack into that middle lane to that Zyra. So we'll see what Hulkbop actually does. but it should be focused on top, not really focused on actually taking out the mid or bottom.
Well, we got Smiteless on both. Nope, not. We used Smite on Mako. We got a Smiteless on Alistar, and does not look like he's interested in level 2 red buff gank top. But I'm looking down south. Justice is not looking so good in terms of the health bar. Already down a little bit under half. Has to use those health potions to come back up, and this is what I mean by that mid range. In like early game, she doesn't really have those cooldowns or the damage, and her mid range is going to get trumped out here by both Sona as well as Corki. So this early game, I wouldn't expect to see much from that bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's going to be Jez's probably going to be dying, and that would not be a good thing for Rizon, definitely. So we'll see what Vayne can do to try to come back into it, but expect the lane to be pushed up a lot over in this bottom lane.
And we got that early ward down. It will see this Alistar come into this bot lane, and it will prompt the backing here from RoughNex. We had Maokai in the region anyway, so red and blue versus red and blue. They're gonna go for the kill on top of Hulk. Oh, he got the flash across from Devil. This could have been devastating had Vayne actually been in position, because that's what I was talking about. That twisted advance is gonna follow you no matter what, and you can actually use the flash in situations like that in order to turn it against him. So I mean, we saw the Nunu there. If we had that Blood Bowl and Vayne was in position to tumble and nail him to the wall, that could have been a really sweet first blood.
The only thing was Maokai didn't exit the burn out flash ball. Alistair did burn it out. We do see a flash going to be burned out by Toya though. But yeah, Maokai's still going to be primed and ready to gank over here, and Dwarf should be worried about that, because that's probably where Maokai's going to be coming into this next.
Well, Maokai knows his limits. He was level 3. He does have himself 700 hit points, and you know he's not exactly naked in terms of armor. So as soon as he saw that Vayne wasn't there, realized there's no real danger, wasn't going to go down. So I think that's really excellent game knowledge on his part right there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the only thing Vayne wants to do is actually CS, because, you know, like you said, mid game, late game, Vayne will be really, really tanky / really, really good. Not tanky, but damagey and really good into that. But with the early game start, you can't really do too much with a Vayne.
And speaking of an early game start, check out the difference in creeps in that bottom lane. Wow.
9 to 25, I mean, that just says that lane matchup even more so. We could be going in for a gank over at middle. Hulk Bob going to get that headbutt into Pulverize. Great start up. Toya is now going to be taken down super fast. Brilliant. Flash Frost and Hodorf going to be taking that kill. No problem indeed for Insult.
Very nice staggering of the stuns right there. The headbutt into the Pulverize into the stun from Anivia. It's just beautiful to see that kind of teamwork. So yeah. Basically, she went from 100 to 0 without ever moving.
We do see another gank over down the bottom. Quirky taking a lot of bit of damage right now. Jez is trying to be aggressive. Oh, wow.
That was a power chord and a half if I've ever seen one. Vision N able to grab the kill on top of Vayne. Oh, it is not looking good for Vayne at this point. 39 to 11, and now an assist on top of that Corki.
Corki now pretty much at 42 CS. I mean, I equate assists to about 2 or 3 creeps right there, and yeah, Corki's using the push. Lane gonna deny even more experience for that Vayne. Oh, that is just so tough. I mean, again, Vayne probably should have just played a little bit passive. Unfortunately, Vision then with that crit cord, that was some damage. I mean, the tower probably should have taken the kill from it and probably would have given to Quirky, but dang. so much damage.
It's just funny to watch just her get entirely chunked like that. So, you know, we were talking a little bit about Nasus, how he's pretty awesome in this top lane. He has himself plus 33 physical damage, so he's hit 11 last hits now with that siphoning strike, and he's actually doing decently well against Sichi here. 39 to 32, 0-0 across the board, but it does look like Very Nice did head back to town at one point. Hasn't got that Philo Stone, and now he's going to use that advantage to try to not fight Sichi?
I think he just got juked out from the brushes. It's really hard. Once you hit that Cougar form, plus on top of that you go into the brushes, that move speed from Sichi is just a little bit too much, so Very Nice doesn't want to do it, chase that down.
Might have to use a flash here. A great headbutt. There's the Pulverize. Sichi going to come in here as well. Hulkbob not going to be forcing any kind of flash at a Very Nice. Once again, not opting to use that panic button.
I just thought of something right quickly. Nasus, I've seen some damage coming over at middle, but Hodorf is going to be a little bit okay from there. Nasus does have a really good ability called Wither. It does a lot of attack speed slow, And that's something you need to do for Vayne. Vayne needs to attack and keep on attacking. If you deny that from Vayne, that's going to be a really bad time for RealZone to try to get any damage.
Oh man, it's like deja vu, Toya. Going down once again to this brilliant CC combo in the mid. He's going to be dropping. And then Nivea picks up the second kill there. Now, we did have Maokai doing a little bit of a dive up top. They were not able to land the kill on top of Nidalee. And now coming in from all the way from behind, Hulk Bob is ignoring bot lane. Okay, cool. Never mind. Bot lane is kind of suffering, though. I mean, they're not having a good time. We have almost triple the CS on Corki that we do on Vayne.
And Vayne actually is getting power credit even more so. Now it's going to be in a really level 4 to level 6. I mean, it is not looking pretty for that bot lane, and we really need that help for Alistair.
Okay, could be a kill here. Sitchi gonna get it with that ignite, but it does look like Sona was able to take down that Nunu. Are they gonna dive right past? They definitely could, but it is just gonna be Sona zoning out Jesse's.
Really different from the first game. It's really aggressive coming out from RoughNex and RealZone. Both teams now 2-3 on the kill score. So looking a little bit like into the element of, well, we have this game, we want to play that, and we want to be aggressive. Not very passive like the first game.
Nope. I mean, this is the game that is on the line. RealZone has to make this game count, and so far they might be up in kills, but they are down in gold.
Yeah, I mean, that's really indicative of that bot lane triple, like you said, almost happening for Corki and Vayne, and that's just the biggest thing. But even at top lane, it's like supposed to be, Nas is supposed to be really down as well. 56 to 54, it's not that bad for that top lane matchup. And at middle, 59 to 61. I mean, that's pretty even for both Zyra and Nivea, but Nivea taking those kills, definitely going to have to be the person to really crowd around and try to win out this game.
Devo duking it out mano a mano against that red buff. Will be able to cement it, and he's just going to head on back to town. Not a problem. Very nice up top, however, is going to be forcing this entire creep wave down the throat of this tower. But what did Sitchi go and buy? Sitchi is looking good at a Phage, and the Dorans does not go for the tier 2 boots. Actually, neither did Nasus. When Nasus died, all he got was that Ruby Crystal. Could you see a Heart of Gold and kind of like this turtling build from top?
Yeah, I mean, usually for Nasus, especially with that Philosopher's Stones first, he could go even Cerulelias to just get into the damage of either Nidalee or even into the Vayne. Hold on, I thought we do have the engagement at bottom.
Yeah, Crescendo will stop that fight in its tracks, which is why Sona is once again one of those great supports in that bot lane. So good game, well played right there to Alistar. I think he actually flashed. Yeah, he did. He did flash for that. That always sucks, getting just shut down by that ultimate.
He had to burn out a lot of stuff, and he's at level 5 right now compared to where Devil's at level 6, and right now Hulk Bob really needs to catch up on his levels as well. I mean, yeah, Alistair is a great ganker, but once you miss a few ganks, he falls behind really rapidly.
Our mid bird is going to get hunted down a little bit here by the carnivorous plant, but we also have blue should be coming up. Yeah, well, not. Yeah, he did start red into the blue. So have we already had this? Yeah, okay, we've already had the second blue. My mistake.
Yeah, both the mids have both blues.
Yep. My bad.
I'm feeling like RoughNex probably could make a play at Dragon pretty soon though, especially with the teleport that's happening with Very Nice. Oh no, Very Nice actually used the teleport pretty early too.
Oh. We're set up for this bot lane. There's that twisted advance. Once again, the flash gets denied. The Arcane Smash going down, and Corki adding another kill to the tally. His first kill, but he has 2 assists to his name. And now they're going to be trying to chase down Jesse's. And now Jesse's could flash up, and he will flash up. Okay, it's just going to be ultra safe about it and walk on out of that. But here's that dragon play that you were just mentioning. They do have themselves a good opportunity for it.
Yeah, definitely, and we do see Devil taking the start onto the Yoko's going to be damaged down with Vision as well, and RealZone can't really contest it, and they're just going to let it go for free.
Yep. That's what you do, though. You take out somebody in that bot lane area, and you know the top is still there, and they do not have a teleport this round, so, you know, RealZone just have to give it up. No question about it.
And now we see a 4K gold lead in the early go for RoughNex, and RoughNex is playing this out really strongly yet again, and RealZone can't really just rest up onto their own play. I mean, they're playing aggressively, but now they have to try to catch up as much as they can, turtle up, and try to just really bank on what Anipia's play is going through. I mean, 2-0, 103 CS, definitely the tops of his team.
Possibly even top of the game. Let's take a quick look at the cash. 4,000. Nope. Corki edging him out just a little bit. A little bit. Well, that being said, actually that creep wave was a lot of gold right there, and Corki still has to make it back to lane. So yeah, they're pretty much neck and neck. The two top carries, that mid lane as well as that Corki. But Corki is well on his way to what looks like a 15-minute Triforce.
Yeah, it's not looking so well as in item-wise for Justice, who has that 57 CS, only double now, but he only has double Dorans with the Berserker Greaves. Not going to be doing too much damage per se.
Yeah, and the double Dorans, if he gets one more, it's just a huge sign that Vayne is so far behind. At 57 creeps, let's call it 60 just for fun's sake. At 12 minutes, yeah, that's 5 creeps a minute. Whereas we're pretty close to that 10 creep per minute on Yekos with 106. I mean, after a few more creep waves, he pretty much going to be at that 10. And again, it's just bad news for Real Zone.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see it's more just waiting out. And RoughNex, I mean, technically they can push down even more, but they are gladly happy to stay in this lane phase and trying to just push out a little bit more onto these minions over at bottom lane slash. Yeah, they're just glad to stay into this just because they're just building up such a lead. I mean, Zyra is the only lane that's kind of faulty right now, but even then, just one lane over pretty much all 3-4 members of the other team that don't have anything really happening for them. That's a really good trade-off.
It's an extremely good trade-off. Yeah, we're going to get a stun here onto Devo, Hokebob, and Jorth trying to once again do that 0 to 100 or 100 to 0 combo from on top of Toya. Not going to find it on Devo either. Sona's going to rise up to meet Hokebob, but we do got those wandering treads. He does have speed 5 at this point. He's going to go for this Corki, but he is all alone. He is fortunately going to just avoid that big missile, but using the ultimate to get out of the crescendo. Crescendo down. Mission sort of accomplished, I guess. Just no support to jump in there with him.
And unfortunately for not right now, Real Zone now not going to have any ward coverage for them. It's going to be hurting it a lot more over at that bottom lane slash over into the whole game.
And Jesse is still trying to farm up a little bit under this tower. This tower is not going to be lasting too much longer. We could see Devil going around behind for another behind the tower gank. We saw that earlier and it landed them an excellent kill. But it does look like bot lane is going to be forced back. We could see the loss of the first tower any moment now. And now I have been looking at top, this lifesteal on top of very nice with all the regens and the siphoning strike and all that, keeping him very, very healthy in this top lane. But between him and Sitchi, not really a huge advantage when it comes to these team fights. They just keep going back and forth and healing up and going at it again and healing up. Repeat, rinse, cycle.
I mean, you have a lot of heal coming up from Sitchi with his E ability, and very nice. I mean, just the passive alone, just giving a little bit of lifesteal. It's really good altogether.
Oh man, I realized what I forgot to do. Colorblind mode. Man, oh man.
See purple and green. I mean, that's fine. I mean,
I do apologize.
Yeah. I mean, I like seeing it in blue and purple as well. Like usually, I mean, yeah, it's a little tough on the eyes for some people, but I mean, I still like standard as well from that. Nasus right now is building up to that Glacial Shroud. He's going to be building into some more CDR with that Frozen Heart. He's going to be really tanky coming into it about 2 minutes from now, and the first items again for RoughNex is going to probably come in for the core about 18 minutes, and that's going to be a big detriment to Real Zone. Again, they're not going to have the real first items, especially for that Vayne, probably in that 24-25 minute mark. That's what I'm estimating. It's going to be really hard for Real Zone to come back in unless they get some good games or get something happening for themselves right now.
I think we're about 200 gold away on this Corki from getting that Trinity Force. He has enough to pick up that Zeal. It just needs a few more creeps in order to solidify that last kill, or maybe he can just get the kill right here. We don't have a crescendo from our Sona. It's just barely not up, so they're not going to be able to hit that. But with that tower, it should be enough. So let's call it a 16-minute Trinity Force. That is absolutely scary to deal with.
Yeah, definitely, and we do see some vision going out for Vision N, while we do see some damage coming up from that Zyra onto that Alistar.
Yep, has to throw down that protection once more. That plant can really pack a big bite. Very Nice could be in some trouble, however. Sitchi is looking really good, but once again, Wither defeating the chase aspect of this whole thing, which is one of those aspects that Nidalee really does excel at, all that mobility with her cat form. Now, in amongst all the different lanes, we really haven't had too much going on mid. Toya died instantly twice to 2 ganks, but since then, either you've wisened up or we've shifted priorities. Toya has lived, and the bird has not really left lane.
Unfortunately for the bird, he can't say some more words. But, Anivia can't really do too much about it, because if he does try to go aggressive, the other lanes could just come in and gank him and just counter and just lose that lead that Hordrift has. So Hordrift has to play a little bit passively, while Zyra Toya doesn't have to play any aggressively as well. I mean, yeah, he's down in his lane, but he'll be fine enough just to get that CS, get those items, and just be a factor in that mid to late game.
And here's the dragon coming up. 17 and 40 minutes. We are ready to go for this dragon. Let's have a flash coming in here from Toya. Will prompt the return flash, but Devil gonna flash on over as well, possibly looking for that kill. Now it does look like they want to set up for that dragon, and at this point I do think they do have enough pressure. Bottom lane is pretty much non-existent at this point. They do know Sitchi's still back up top. This could be a fairly uncontested, and after blowing all those flashes, we know that the flash is down from Anivia. And it does not look like we can even put up a resistance against that. The gold lead widens once again.
I mean, that's actually predicated because they did not have any vision over that dragon, I think, at all. And even though they did take out that ward over there by that little nook by that red middle turret, I mean, there isn't really much the team of Realzone can do. And again, they don't want to really fight into the jungle / without any extra DPS. So Realzone's going to be taken away from that.
Well, Smoke Bomb gets absolutely decimated in this bottom lane. Just he does use that stealth, but it is not enough to evade gigantic missiles to his face as Vayne does go down. Look at this Nunu lived with 20 hit points. Could have easily been that double kill, and just showing off the power of that early game Trinity Force and from this Corki. Now on the flip side, Sitchu is actually able to outpush Very Nice in this top lane. In fact, Very Nice is on the receiving end of this creep score.
Yeah, I mean, Very Nice can't really do too much about it because, I mean, Phage on top of just regular pokes from the Javelin Toss, it's going to be really good to just get onto it. But right now, we do see the 70 strike going to be built up pretty soon. It's going to be ranking that up, going to get some more damage onto it. It's about 300 damage coming out from just one Q. And once you get to the CDR items, it's going to be a very big danger. That's going to be coming out from this Very Nice.
Yep, 300, 300, 350, 350. Yeah, it definitely starts adding up. And he can just chew through even the tankiest of enemies with that kind of extra damage boost. But Sitchi, good job, Sitchi, that top lane. He has himself that Phage. Still not the tier 2 boots. Is relying a lot more upon his mobility with that Nidalee. But it does look like he's going to go all offensive. Look at that, the BF sword coming out.
Yeah, I mean, Nidalee needs to just put as much damage, especially since Vayne not really there onto damage. I mean, he gets that BF sword, but compared to his counterpart, Trinity Force the BF sword, I'd take the Trinity Force any day over that BF sword.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree, sir. Yikos here has done an extremely good job in this bot lane. 170 creeps to his name. Not the highest we've seen at the 20-minute mark. Thank you, Froggen. But the only person really beating them is those mid lanes, and they've been farming pretty much all game. 209 creeps to the 190 of Zyra. So, yep, good guy, good farming skills on all the teams here. But it looks like we're gathering into this bot lane.
Yeah, bot lane's probably going to be the contestation point because there is no health on that second tower. Literally, Sona could probably poke it a few times. But Sona's actually going to get chased by that Vayne. Really interesting to see that.
Oh, just barely not getting this tower. 37 hit points. That's less than an auto attack, but we're going to go right behind it. We don't care. Hello, Smoke Bomb. And goodbye, Smoke Bomb.
Did not even use its ultimate to get there. Oh my gosh, there's a crescendo going off the echoes. Gonna try to chase down. Vayne getting bends out the cleanse, but it is not gonna be enough. Quirky just getting that kill yet again.
Yeah, not nearly enough. Look at Hokebob. He's gonna be dropping as well. Toya able to pick up that one. Probably with that ignite, and yes, indeed, it was that ignite that ticked him down. Does not matter how much armor you have, Alistar. Ignite is the true damage. So tower to their name, red and blue on Toya, and 3 more kills. This is looking really good for RoughNex to take in a 2-0 sweep at the 21-minute mark.
I mean, Sitchi is the only thing that's really working out for them over that top lane for Realzone, but again, 1-4-4, not really the best times for Realzone right now, and especially with an inhibitor turret taken down at 21 minutes, that's just really spelling some really good stuff from RoughNex.
Yeah, bad mojo is what's in store here for our real zone. But Sitchi, you know, he's been actually able to hold his own pretty well this top lane. Lots of damage coming out of him. He has that regen plus as well. He has his own heal, but we also have that frozen heart now finished up. And you were talking about that cooldown reduction, right? We could see a spot here where Very Nice overtakes Sitchi, and he's making a good case for it with these trades.
Yeah, I mean, he is giving it out a little bit with that second trick, and that's gonna just add up even more, especially with there's about 2-second 4-second cooldown right now on second strike. He's looking to build into a Trinity Force right now. Probably gonna go build into a tier 2 boots with the Mercury Treads because there's a lot of CC on the team of Real Zone. We'll see what Gnosis will be bringing into the fight, but even at this point, they don't really need Gnosis' damage. They don't actually even need Toya's damage. As long as they can protect Gekos, it's just pretty much really good stuff that's going to happen for RoughNex.
Well, if you look at the kill death spread, 0-1-0 on Very Nice. I mean, yeah, he has literally not been part of anything except the farming movement in this top lane, but he has been doing a decent job of it. Of course, 182 is losing in terms of the CS, but he has kept Sitchi pretty much top lane, which has left the 4v4 potential, you know, to RoughNex, and they've really excelled at this 4v4 potential.
I hope they respond to this Corki right now at bottom. He is pushing up really fast over that bottom lane, while we do see Alistair probably going to be priming in for a gank over top.
Yeah, you got to choose one or the other. It looks like they're going to be trying to choose Very Nice. Here goes the damage, but that lifesteal with the damage reduction from that Frozen Heart is just doing work. His hit points on leg, that's why. His hit points really aren't moving, but he's going to teleport out of it. Ah! He teleports to this bot lane where they're pushing against this inhibitor, leaving 2 of Real Zone in the top with their mouths open. Does look like Anivia was able to take out Toya, but that's okay. We've tied up so many resources not in this bot lane, and they've made such an epic push down one turret, looking for the kill on top of Smoke Bomb. Find it, just is going to be dropping as well for the double kill on top of this Corki, and I am just speechless at that amount of plays that just went on right now.
Oh, we do see Hydra going to get caught down by Twisted Advance, and it's going to be, wow, Sona picking up the double buff, no problem. That was a super nice play. I was about to say, very Warboy-esque over there, using that teleport to even push even more, and especially just deny Alistair and Alistair and Nidalee to even come back to the bot lane. Oh my gosh. Very smart play by Very Nice.
As soon as the CC was done, Very Nice was like, alright, I'm out, peace. I'm gonna go take your inhibitor, your turret, and 3 kills. Just walks on back to bot. Wow. That was intense, sir. They're gonna pick up a dragon off the back of this as well. It does look like our Nidalee, I mean, yeah, sure, she's doing okay. She has herself a Trinity Force out of that phage, but it's just not gonna be nearly enough at this stage of the game.
I mean, Trinity Force with the bottom inhibitor down and a Nexus turret down, that's just a lot of good work right there. Technically, the RoughNex could have got caught out by trading off of that turret, but Crescendo was saved, Sona was saved out, and actually got 2 more kills on top of that. I mean, RoughNex is just playing at a really, really high level. And even so, Realzone probably could have tried to go for a Desperation Baron. RoughNex was already there to just respond saying, nope, we're just going to deny you of any kind of advantage or anything that could actually happen for themselves.
There goes that top turret. Very Nice, finally able to equalize that top lane situation. We do got a ping going down on top of Baron. If you take a quick look at the ward situation, it is pretty low on all fronts. So they might be able to steal out this Baron while the entire enemy team is busy with that bot lane.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Devo's going to do a lot of damage to it. Toya is going to do a lot of damage to it. I mean, it's an easy Baron for themselves, and now they can actually even push up middle, they can push up top, but they can actually go for the win. And that is, I mean, one thing that when you're going against Anivia or anything that can stall out, you want to have something of an advantage already from the start. And since they have a bottom inhibitor down, it's always going to be at least a 4v1 or a 4v5 fight.
26 minutes in, we've already surpassed the length of game number 1, but the scores are no less dire. 10-4 with a 15,000 gold lead. RoughNex is still looking extremely well in this mid game. I can't even call this end game. My god, this mid game of game number 2, and just the items between the two teams again are just so staggering.
I mean, RoughNex is just putting in the work, and they're going to be really able to push in pretty easily. I mean, they could check Hajorth, and Hajorth is probably the only thing other than Italy that they can actually like say, okay, those are the threats we need to take care of. Vayne 040, it does have the Infinity Edge, but 175 compared to 240 on the CS score on top of the, well, 603 of Yekos. I mean, Vayne's a factor, but not so much a factor as much as Hajorth and onto Sichi as well.
Yeah, Vayne at 040 and Noon at 040. I would. Oh, those are just bad things to be carrying in the front of your mind or even the back of your mind. We see Alienware get extremely blown up in that regard. We had a stun come down here from Hajorth on top of Vision, but he is smartly going to go the other way. Nasus is still up top while we are pushing in this mid. Toya going to be joining the party here mid. Hajorth is going to be going down. No egg for you, sir. Very nice now joining the party in that mid, and this could very well be the game, sir.
Yeah, I mean, Hajorth down, Health flop down, there's nothing really that's going to stop him. And it's really interesting to see this comp really work out for the team of RoughNex, and they are just going to go own it up so fast into this.
I think that there is a little bit of a skill difference, not just outpicked or outplayed. Definitely seems to be a bit more of a skill difference between these two teams. Sichi going to get all the way back into that base. He's the only person on his team to not die in game number 2, whereas pretty much only 2 people on RoughNex are able to take a death. But game number 2 done. RoughNex over RealZone 2-0 here in the fall season of the Alienware Arena EU Finals. Big grats to RoughNex. €1,000 in their pocket. Wow.
Yeah, RoughNex showing their worth, their self, and them like just owning up this finals matchup really, really shows that they could really be possibly a team that we reckon with during the EU scene of Season 3.
Well, guys, it has definitely been a pleasure. Going to take a quick look here at the end game score. There's the stats for you. RoughNex versus RealZone 2-0 RoughNex. I don't want to downplay RealZone whatsoever. They go home with €500. They made it all the way to the finals, and that is not an accomplishment you should ever downplay. And hopefully we are going to see both teams next season, the winter season of Alienware Arena. The signups have definitely already gone down. I don't know if they're closed yet or not, but if you want a chance for competing against teams like these, against people for money, then make sure you go and you sign up, both NA and EU supported. And every Thursday here on the Twitch TV FourCourtJester, we will be going over some of the NA and EU games.
Yep, definitely. It's a really fun little thing, and I was part of it for Alienware. I got top 32 for the NA side, and it's really cool to see teams come out for this and the support from Alienware that they give out. It's really cool to see them as well.
I heard a little rumor from a little birdie that could be even more awesome in the next season. So, guys, once again, check out Alienware Arena. Big sponsors here into League of Legends. I do think that they supply all the computers for like the World Finals and all that stuff like that. So, it has been an absolute pleasure, Mr. Bird. Where can people find you out there on the internet?
You can go check me out on Facebook, facebook.com/L3IRD Gaming. I think you saw on the bottom left, as well as my Twitter at L3IRD. Wanted to give a special shout out as well to my people at Definitive Esports. You can check them out on the YouTube, youtube.com/definitive_esports. I do a little bit of a day night-esque kind of learning show on Tuesdays for them, so do check that out on the YouTubes.
Well, sir, if I ever am in need of a competitive insight, you will be one of the names I go to from now on. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll gladly have you on the show again. So, once again, Bird from DC Esports, thank you so much.
No problem.
And guys, I'm the FourCourtJester. You can find me here, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. All the games are going to be exported out to my YouTube, so feel free to share them amongst your friends every Thursday, 3 p.m. for EU, 9 p.m. for NA. We go over the matches, me plus a co-commentator. Typically it's Rapid Transit, but maybe we're going to mix in some bird goodness into that. Would you be down for that?
Possibly. It sounds like fun, good ideas, and I could probably scout out some opponents because I probably will be participating in the NA server yet again.
Yeah, that would be something to consider. You can't play and cast at the same time. Once again, thank you to the Alienware for hosting such a great league. And guys, we will see you in a few hours here on the same channel for the NA Finals, I'm going to be casting those with Comley or Seabear or Comley Cast, League of Legends and Heroes of New Earth commentator, and we are going to be going over the same format. Third place, best of 3, finals, best of 3, coming back here in a few hours. If you want to stay on track of things, make sure you hit me up. My Twitch, my Twitter, my Facebook, and my YouTube. So announcements will be going out on all the social media. Enjoy your music, enjoy your League of Legends, and enjoy your day. Bird, it's been a pleasure.
Definitely indeed.
And I'll catch you later.
Yep.